Alright, Chibi, I'm ready for it.
Is your body ready? I love how you just have this one fucking World War II combat engineer down in Sudan, Narfi, just south of all your high-tech M1A3 Abrams. Just this lone World War II combat engineer.
I see him.
Alright, we ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh boy. Good luck. Oh my god, all the missiles. Alright, war's declared. Fucking the Spanish are not... You know, Narfi, I'd suggest taking the road. So the supply will follow you, waypoint it out. They're gonna come at you from the road, certainly, and they can get around behind you using that road. Oh my god, the British Navy. That's one way to do it. Just trying to get some shots off on everyone coming down the road. Hey, at least they're split up this time. They're not all gonna run northwest. Already a much better start on your side just because you overwhelmed them. Oh, but here comes the fucking horde. But their units are already looking scarce because they've been split up so much. A lot of them are actually going to fight Spain. Not as many are going to fight you.
Yeah, I should too.
What, am I just not that important enough?
Hey, this is the Spanish invasion of Egypt. Alright, nobody cares about you. The Egyptians are just being slaughtered with this fucking overkill. The Spanish are about to wipe out an entire hex of agriculture just with so much gunfire. And the British are already moving on the mass of the infrastructure. Yeah, they're just completely overwhelmed. There's nothing they can do. I am seeing the first of you-know-who's reinforcements on the way.
Alright.
You really don't want to say, right?
Oh, the you-know-who number 2's reinforcements are on the way as well.
Alright.
Let's see which one Narfi can spot first. If they even make it in time. Got in Alexandria, you might want to start making your push. Yep, more and more are coming from the bigger of the two you-know-who's. Oh, they're both getting at it. Yep, better hurry. You've almost cut off all the landing points from the north, at least.
Saudis.
Correct, that is one of them. The Saudis still have a landing point in the south. Nothing you can do too much about that, but for the other one, you might want to like take your fleet and position it at the Suez.
They're already on the way.
So you can cut them off. I love how some of the Spanish troops that are like retreating to go heal and stuff are going through the Suez during the middle of the war. Well, you have the port surrounded. Alright. Some Saudis might break in, but... Oh, some Saudis have broken in already. The Spanish are getting shot up in the Suez, I am unsurprised. But the other reinforcements should be cut off now. Yep, certainly looks like it. Now the Spanish fleet is marching down through the Suez to clear it out for their men. I'd say the Egyptian army is pretty much fallen, though. And you've moved so fast, the reinforcements are barely going to arrive in time. Only a few Saudis are going to even make it. You've completely swarmed the north.
Yeah. That was my objective first, to take out all their ports.
Yeah. Good timing, too, because I see the first of the other reinforcements are here.
Do we have all their ports cut off?
Looks like you have every single port now, yes. All foreign assistance that is non-amphibious should be cut off completely. So Narfi, have you figured out who the other one is yet?
Oh, I'm too busy with micromanaging, actually.
You can tell them if you want.
The other one was Russia.
Seriously?
If you look to the north of Egypt, you'll see a bunch of Russian ships and transports slowly trickling south.
Close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see them.
Prolonged fighting with Russians would certainly bring about a World War III scenario.
Yep.
There goes the Canal Zone. Turkey and East Timor formed an alliance. Whoa. Now it's pretty much like you're at the capital. It's just a matter of moments now. Looks like some of our allies have sent help as well. Like ships. Yeah, some allies have kind of like sent ships to patrol the waters. Another capital. They should give up here any moment. They're about to have almost nothing left. Oh, their fucking towns are just surrendering en masse to the Spanish charging up the Nile. Ha! One. It all took one unit. A recon unit, just making everyone surrender.
Oh no, he might use his binoculars to spec us. Surrender, surrender.
Don't spot me! I surrender!
Looks like the Russian units were going for that first barracks originally. That seems to be where they're sailing up to. Man, they're fighting for every inch. Look at this. Every last little city. Is this the final city altogether? Yeah, it looks like it. I don't see any more. No, wait, there's one more, and the Spanish are about to step on it with an anti-tank unit. That's what's about to capture this. Yep. Wonderful. The Egyptian planes are going and basing out of Saudi Arabia.
There's one more city to the south.
Is there? Oh yeah, look, there is.
Abu Samal.
Wow, they really moved it to the last fucking inch. Wow. Oh, there they go.
There.
And you colonized it. United Kingdom, Egypt.
That wasn't so bad.
You should have seen it without, if he had declared war yesterday right at the very end, it would have gone much differently. Much differently.
Israel.
Are you actually?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently he's gonna invade Israel next. Oh, the Russians are going through the Suez and dying. Oh, cool. You got to directly keep the Suez. That's nice. Fucking Saudis are still sailing in and getting shot up. Oh my god. This is a crisis waiting to happen. Massive Spanish forces are just sailing away. My electricity production's a lot better after I built like 50 of what I was building.
I thought you were building like 100.
Yes, I am. But half of them finished. I started building them all at different times. Guess I'll go ahead and build some more. Why not? There, that's another 30. I placed another 30 in Africa for the hell of it. I'll laugh, by the way. I'll laugh really hard if you invade Israel and then get forced back because their army overwhelms yours.
Huh.
I just think it would be just the funniest thing of like, oh, he went so greedy and it didn't work out. Are you exploiting all your new colonies or are you just kind of letting them exist?
Yeah,
oh my god.
Letting them exist.
Egypt's inflation's up to 45%.
I gotta let my inflation rebound.
Yeah, it's at 0.7. It's stabilized around there at least. It was 0.8 immediately after you ate Nigeria. It would be nice to see more internal politics in this game because then you could really set up a annexation in such a way that it would benefit your economy. For example, like a program that slowly switches over your colonies to using specifically and only your currency so that when you eat them up, instead of their population just dragging your economy down, if they have, you know, for example, a 45% inflation rate, then that would balance out with your already low inflation rate and actually boost your economy as a result as you went ahead and slowly integrated them into your economic system. That would be cool. And you could do it with, like, you don't need there to be a bunch of in-depth simulations for this. Just a button like, integrate economies, wait for time to go by. Integrate political system to, like, match them to your form of government, to, like, make their population happier when they join you, you know? Wait for time to go by. That kind of thing.
If only. That would be nice.
If only indeed. No game has that much depth. Like, even all the grand strategy games in the world, they're all, honestly, so fun. Like, they all do something really well. But the problem is, they don't do the whole thing well. They intentionally leave other parts of the grand and grand strategy out because they just don't have the scope to make that much. Not to mention, it would be a lot to learn. You wasted a lot of oil there, aren't you, you fucking addict? Oil! Don't forget all that fucking Suez oil. All that. Oh, no wonder their fucking inflation's so high.
Oh, it was that high before I started building.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's good.
Inflation of 300% after this.
Hey, I actually have a positive electricity production. I must have been the world's biggest importer for a while, because the moment I went positive and started exporting, the price started plummeting. Absolutely plummeting. The price for fucking electricity was at like 320, 330 before these hydros started finishing. It's down to 288 and still dropping. Drops more and more every new hydro plant that finishes.
Yeah, it's not profitable anymore to sell for me then.
It's almost not profitable for me to sell it. I have a lot more hydro being built. Yep, the price just went down again. Ecuador. And even with so many troops over here, you still had enough troops to invade Ecuador.
Yeah, but look at the military approval. It's nothing.
Yeah, it's literally empty. Their troops are marching out of their barracks with literally no efficiency to fight you. Only bullets and a sense of dread. Oh my god. That was the longest middle of the day. Hey Shibi, this is running exactly with freezes, just like the Muslim playthrough got to when we quit now. We got that first quarter of the day freeze and the middle of the day freeze.
Yeah, I noticed that.
We've actually now perfectly caught up in half the time.
Hooray!
Yay!
So now what?
It gets worse. Hey, it still runs better than GPS 3 fucking multiplayer did. Dude, I don't think I ever saw the end of the first year in GPS multiplayer. Most of my playthroughs ended in a month. I'm very confident that the other eras will run much better, though. However, because I don't think Narfi knows this yet. Oh, and there's Ecuador. After this one, Shibi wants to take a break to go edit a bunch of, and record a bunch of GPS stuff for like a few weeks before he does any more of this game. Because he's running multiple series at once on his YouTube channel like a madman.
Yeah, right.
Also, Russia is still sending a fuck ton of units. I can see them passing through the Gibraltar. So just in case, you really might want to make sure that your actual attack neutral regions that incur under unit pathing, the first option on the left is disabled.
Yeah, it's off.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know then, because your units do shoot when they're over there. Fucking Russia, dude. Oh my god, imagine if the war was prolonged. They were sending a lot more than we even knew. They were just sending them from the north. Look at them all, instead of sailing, marching through all of Africa. Well, taking a train right now, to be fair. They've been switching from roads to trains depending on what I have available, but they're taking very nice advantage of this very long railway that I've been building leading through Africa. Very nice advantage of my infrastructure. So I'm gonna have to charge you a toll for every mile. Is that cool?
Come to build to the British.
Otherwise, I'm gonna scrap the rail right in front of you.
No one told you to go on the rail. Slap me with the bill. Bullshit. No one told you to take the fucking train.
Well, it's logical if you see where they're going.
Yeah, they're going to a port.
Yeah, I mean after that.
The rest of that is all roads, actually. I've been building a lot of roads in Africa, honestly. Especially in places where there's a lot of cities next to each other. I've been using the rails, especially where there's any, like, big open deserts with no sources of supply naturally in them. That's when I've been utilizing rails. So there's a couple of really, really large railway systems in my Africa. There's one in the east, there's one in the center, and there's one in the west. The north and the south are supremely made up of roads. If you played Japan, Narfi, in a co-op World War II, would you invade the United States? Or are you too chicken?
Maybe? I'm not gonna say yes or no right away. Depends on the situation. Would you do?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shibi knows my capabilities. Never give me 4 years in a video game.
First you have to take Mexico for easy access, but...
Not necessarily.
That would be easier.
You could always be like scheming Shibi over here and try to fucking get full transit and everything with them at the very beginning of a playthrough.
That's also a good tactic.
I was watching his fucking side of the playthrough, and the first fucking thing he does with any other country, I should get an alliance with Mexico, and then I could, like, use that to invade him. Hey, do you think he'll notice if I just get full transit? Will it pop up? I don't think so. I'm gonna start getting full transit with everyone in Central America. And then on my side, halfway through the playthrough, I've taken over Mexico and taken over other countries in the area. He's like, who's next, huh? Honduras? Guatemala? Who's next? And I'm sure on his side it was like, is he gonna undo all my diplomatic work?
Pretty much.
I had no idea. I had no fucking idea that he did what he did. The only reason that in that playthrough I took over the countries I did was because I knew I needed to really, really secure my borders with my own troops and make a giant buffer so that no matter what he arrived with, I would have enough time to either move enough forces or enable such a sweeping wave of defenses and fortifications like garrisons and etc. that he wouldn't be able to get through. That is why I did what I did. I had no fucking idea the depth of his scheming. And it had some depth, let me tell you. Here's the depth of my scheming. Man, I should get Philippines some military production, because I feel like if we go to war, the first thing he's going to do is going to be to invade the Philippines. And if I don't defend it, then it's just going to fall. So I want to make them defend themselves, and I'll just throw money at them. We go to war, the first thing he fucking does, invades the Philippines with half his fucking military. And then gets stuck because he expected no resistance, and he invaded through a tunnel that didn't even have a seaport.
I busted a Putin. What can I say? That's what we'll call it now. We'll call it busting a Putin.
Oh boy. I'm amazed you didn't invade from like the north or something. That would have been more supply. And that you only invaded one island, the island with Manila. Meanwhile, you actually took the same exact tactics with your invasion of China. And it worked like a fucking charm. The Philippines put up more of a fight, even though they were suiciding half of their units trying to invade Korea, than China put up.
Gambia is one of my colonies, is it not?
Yes, that's why I left that one alive. There's a reason there's only a little tiny spaghetti strip alive in Western Africa. Because it's British and I don't want to deal with it. I'm going to ask you a question, Shibi, because I got to question this strategy. Why do you build an airbase, a seaport, and make the rest of the hex supply dumps?
Built an aircraft production too.
Well, not on this new one. I'm just wondering, because if you already have an airbase and a seaport, then really you don't need any supply bases. It will max out supply.
Oh. Oh well.
That's what I was saying earlier. Just like one airbase and 2 supply dumps, that will max out supply as well. There's only, like I've shown you before, there's a bar where you can look at the supply of a hex. It can only get up to that full point, and after that, all other production is wasted. So, for example, when building a supply hub like that, I either just, wouldn't build anything else, or maybe build production like you're doing, or build up defenses.
Noted.
If you go look at your Sudan supply hub, you'll notice it's at 100% supply. The bar is completely full. And then, if you go to the supply hub of mine that you use to invade Egypt at Tobruk, you'll notice that is also completely full. But you'll notice, I don't even have a military complex producing supplies. All I have is the seaport and the airbase. It's 100% full. Put a barracks down, so it could also be like a resupply / repair hub as well. I could build defenses there, but I felt no threat. But I still have half the hex available. I think the airbase and the seaport both produce 0.4 or 40% of a hex's supply. Military complex produces like 30%. This village is probably producing 20%. With a large enough city, actually, you could get away with probably just an airbase. Yes, two different kinds of cities can produce 0.6. So there's 2 kinds of cities where you can get away with literally just one airbase or just one seaport or just 2 supply depots in order to max out supply in that city. And that would be a capital city and a mega city. Go ahead and build more oil, because why the fuck not? Hell, I probably have more, yeah I do, more potential land for oil derricks from all these other places I've taken over. Not that oil derricks is efficient, but there's so much less of it to have to look at. Less of a headache. Well, I ended up building another like 160 of the oil gas fields, which is almost getting to the point of
Israel would have at least
doubling.
The United States.
Look, the fucking US gets like fucked up in this game. Like, there's no setting where NATO can be properly set up in modern day. Not to mention the fact that the United States, in real life, has the most amount of alliances of any country. Over 40, almost 50 alliances with other countries. And they start out with like 20 something, not even all of NATO. They start out with like 30 to 40 million less population than they actually had in the year that this was set in and updated for. These big games find like all these weird ass fucking ways to nerf the United States for some reason.
Well, I think it's time to suck up Myanmar.
Flashlight Myanmar. And your population grows.
Hey, Rez, when the hell are you gonna come over here and take Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam, huh?
Huh. All I have to say to that is, ha! I have no idea why I just did any of what I just did. Just look at the North African oil and look at the infrastructure on the empty and non-empty spots.
That looks nice.
Just look across all of it. I just did this right now.
Jesus.
It's pretty nice, isn't it?
Oh my god.
I'm still placing some.
Oil fucking laid out?
So the oil isn't all placed, but I placed all these fucking rails and shit to carry supply to like every single fucking oil hex in Africa.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah, that's the situation here. Let me get rid of 2 of my nuclear power plants in that industrial complex. I don't need as many. I've already crashed the electricity market. Oh, it's going back up, actually. I've still basically crashed it.
Okay, I'm gonna try for Brazil.
Oh, okay.
Big one.
Yeah, that's true. The UK has passed me in oil production. Well, I guess I need to fucking place all this shit down. And there goes the war! Oh, you're invading, let's see, not quite from the coast, but from the north. Oh, you have a big force, actually. Holy shit. I'm surprised you placed it so far away and didn't just bum rush. Oh, well, they're all gonna move away from the coast, so that's a big mistake.
Yeah,
we knew ye well.
To do that.
We knew ye well.
Farewell, ye Brazil.
There ye well. And now watch all the Brazilians run north. And then this giant wave of Spanish Armada forces lands and destroys everything. Yeah, you can see them with the satellites. They're all just running north into their own jungles and their own demise. There's not a whole lot of supply coming down that road anyway. He didn't set up a hub. He just kind of went for it. Not that it matters, because most of the Brazilian army is now just driving into their jungles. Wonderful. Now I'm literally doubling my oil, but I'm going to take it even further than that. For some god-awful reason. Alright, it's up to like 316 building now. Inflation's over 9%. Unemployment's at 3.4. It's going pretty well. Good GDP boost. I say you're probably good to land, yeah. They're all up in the jungle now.
Give Europe. I was trying to clear out some of their navy first.
Yeah, one little ship might be intercepting your forces. Yeah, it's run up to your forces anyway. It's hurting some of them. Hope it doesn't have enough ammo to do a stupid amount of damage, but it's gonna kill a few. Oh, because it also has missiles. Now imagine being the player and seeing this giant Spanish fleet of units with this one poor little patrol boat of yours. You're like, oh my god, we've made a mistake! Back to the coast! They don't really have garrisons much of any set up. We're starting to get a few set up.
Yeah, Jesus. Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Jesus.
Yeah.
Rio de Hero. Jesus wants a hug.
Here come the Spanish forces landing. Oh, oh boy. The entire Brazilian Air Force mobilizes. But the fleet has landed. And many of their fucking cities still have nothing anyway. Having a lot of cities is a blessing and a curse. If you're prepared for war and you have a lot of cities, then you can have a lot of garrisons defending those cities. And then use attrition to defeat your opponent. But if you're like Brazil right now and you aren't ready for war and you don't have a lot of garrisons, the faster you lose your cities, the faster your military approval rating drops, and the quicker you lose the war as a result. The northern force is being attacked and is not sitting in a good spot. Most of your northern force is in the middle of a jungle and getting surrounded.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to them.
How could you not pay attention? Oh no.
Oh no. Distraction. They're cannon fodder.
I don't think their mothers would think that.
Their mothers will get a brave message saying, "Your son died valiantly for our war effort," as a diversion. Without him, the invasion would have failed.
Hey, you're grinding them away up north too. Not just down south. Their military approval's tanking. You gonna annex this or colonize it?
Colonize it.
Oh, what? You don't want to eat that many millions of human beings all at once?
Not right
It
now.
looks like fun. You know, they're so lucky they, in real life, moved their capital to Brasilia. Otherwise, they would be dead right now. They pretty much killed their whole military in the north. I guess the next thing I'll invade is Central Africa. It's another former colony. It looks like it'll be really easy. Doesn't give me any more resources that I have to develop. When you get to that moment where more resources is a bad thing, you know you've come a long way. It's actually somehow financially stable. I like how that one little area you've taken over already, realistically, is most of Brazil's, like, population, or half of it, right there. And that one tiny little spot that you've taken over.
Yeah.
Countries like that are so weird. Not that the US is an exception. They pretty much all live on the coasts to some extent. Even with temporary ownership of another, like, 200 million population at this rate. Your economy's still holding strong at 8.4, holding its head high.
I'm surprised, actually.
Alright, let's get my invasion going.
I'm really surprised that we are the only one who's declaring wars, actually.
Yeah, that is really surprising. Usually China goes fucking warmonger happy. Hell, South Korea too, a little bit.
It's like our World War I playthrough all over again, just in modern day. We're the only one declaring any fucking
Well,
war.
to be fair, someone declared war in this one. They charged out light infantry and get the air forces to actually go hit their targets. What kind of fucking path are you taking? Wow, I don't really understand this maneuver, but you know, let me just give you some orders to actually take your supply lines. The AI is an interesting one in this. Can't wait to try a game like Command Ops where the AI actually takes care of itself. Oh, good, some resource resupplies. Could use some of those. Their fucking villages are serving as amazing entrenchment positions. They're not falling apart from it. Well, they had all their military approval ratings, so I guess that's just a given. I'm running into like a wall, just trying to get into the country. Maybe if I come around the back of this northern one. It doesn't have garrisons, it just has light infantry sitting on it. Hell, I have these villages completely surrounded and they're somehow holding out. Some of their units are being forced to retreat. Well, I cracked through the western portion. But all these fucking troops headed to the capital now. The north still needs to be broken through. Somehow it still has not fallen. Guess we just don't have enough bullets and supply to crush through it all at once. We have to keep running back for supply and then coming back again to keep shooting. Well, we're pretty much swarming at this point. As all the troops make their way to the capital, it should be pretty simple. The capital has some arty defenses, but nothing that really stands a chance. They don't have their light infantry on the capital either. Just some garrisons and a supply truck. Light infantry's probably all healing in the barracks if they even have any more. Hey, look, that city actually fell. Nice. Try to get a force going to start moving on the other cities now, following the road for maximum supply. Well, their capital fell. And now, their new capital is the city I just got a force moving towards. There's not much else to it than that. How's Brazil going? Oh, they actually moved their capital at Brazil. With, like, no military approval rating left.
Yeah, right.
We took their capital.
And sounds like I took their new capital with ease. Let's get some of the dudes going up to this city. The rest of them need to go move on to the next one. Okay. Well, good thing I have troops headed there. These are the last two cities. Oh, and they surrendered. GG. No re.
Central Africa.
I feel like it could use a little more connectivity from the north. Good thing I have all these fucking industrial rails set up. I know exactly how to connect it. I guess connect down to this little village, and then down to this one. So that rail line connects and further links us. Put another few villages into the new rail network if we can. Yeah, that's a pretty good fill-in. I mean, there's nothing really here other than jungle anyway. So this is pretty good. And some sort of supply over here would be good, so an air base. Spread supply there. Not that we're gonna need it, but